Sometimes one-hit wonders can be truly disappointing. It's like you have this stroke of genius or pop perfection, and you're telling me you have absolutely nothing else in the canon to match it? Not even a little? I think this can certainly be applied to short-lived early 2000s girl group Dream. Although in their case, it was more than a lack of strong follow-up material at play. There was also Diddy, who has a long history of artists on his label complaining about him and how he handled their careers and money. And this group seemed like a bona fide casualty that, in my opinion, Diddy has butchered or either accelerated their decline into obscurity. The group initially went by the name Final Warning, and they were not a Puff Daddy girl group, meaning they were not put together by Puff Daddy. The group was made up of all Californian members, ranging from age 13 to 14. Ashley, Melissa, Alex, and Holly. Vincent Herbert and Kenny Burns were instrumental in the group's development, although Debbie Fontaine was the original audition holder for the group. Eventually the group made their way to Diddy, and he offered them a record deal. Right before their debut, member Alex was replaced by Diana due to contractual conflict, and in 2000, the group would make their debut with He Loves You Not, built around the classic game and saying, "He Loves Me Not." The song was allegedly originally intended for Britney Spears in her sophomore album Oops, I Did It Again. And it was probably a bit too brash for Britney at that point in time, and it landed with Dream. The song was so perfectly engineered for its time period in the teen pop wave that I truly believe it would have been a hit no matter who sung it. And Dream being a completely unknown act and scoring very high with the song adds validity to my point of view. Sonically, the song is veered towards Christina Aguilera's Genie in a Bottle, and it's likely because the song actually shares a writer with Genie in a Bottle. Lyrically, the song is a melodic exercise of teenage cattiness, with the narrators bragging about a guy wanting and loving them instead of the girl they assume is out to steal their man. Flawed or not, it's a message that most teenagers could find themselves connecting with. So much so that the song would peak at the number 2 position on the Billboard Hot 100. The music video is so Y2K, it was in popular rotation on TRL. Dream had goals of being the female version of NSYNC and got to open for them on tour. They had a ton of momentum. Following the success of their debut single, their debut album It Was All a Dream dropped in early 2001. The title referencing Notorious B.I.G. The album became a platinum success, selling over 1 million copies. For their second and final single from their debut album titled This Is Me, they had the same exact team as He Loves You Not take on production and writing duties. The song was successful on TRL, but was not as impactful as their debut hit, barely making it into the top 40, landing at number 39. They quickly began to work on their second album, but unexpectedly, member Melissa Schumann decided to leave the group. She didn't have many parts in songs. She was replaced by a girl named Casey Sheridan. Their return single Crazy would be something drastically different from their teeny bopper days, going in a much more adult and R&B driven direction. The group was not a fan of the song or the new direction. They didn't feel it was natural, and there was a huge push for them to be sexualized. This change was ultimately pushed by Diddy according to the girls. The song was a failure. Their album experienced various delays, and eventually they were dropped from the label. Their second album titled Reality was shelved. It did not receive a worldwide release. There were disagreements with Diddy on which direction the girls should take, and there was also intergroup friction according to the members. The group eventually disbanded, all going in completely different directions, ranging from acting to singing to keeping a low profile. In 2008, Melissa, Ashley, and Diana set out to create a new group, naming themselves Lady Phoenix. The group also had a reality TV show in the works on their life away from the spotlight and trying to stage a comeback in the music industry, but the show was never picked up. Diana Ortiz eventually came out as gay, and fellow member Ashley did not receive it well due to her religion. But there's a plot twist. Ashley admittedly secretly struggled with her sexuality and was envious of Diana's courage. Ashley eventually came out as bisexual and made up with Diana. In 2015, the original members reunited and did a cover version of Oh Holy Night. And in 2016, they were a supporting act for a 98 Degrees tour. and years had passed, but they performed very well. Their mics were on, and they danced as well in all of the shows. That same year, they released their first single in over a decade titled I Still Believe. And although plans were on for another album, it was ultimately scrapped, and they disbanded once again.
I don't want to be dishonest. It's just not who I am. So, I'm not going to give you the gory details because that's tacky and not my place to say, but I'm going to let you guys know that Dream has disbanded yet again. I know this makes everyone curious. They want to know if there was a big blowout fight or something like that, and that's definitely not the case. It's a very particular situation that's just very different from the rest of the world. The music industry is a really rough business, and there's no forgiveness in it. So I think there are some people that are willing to sacrifice certain things to be a part of this business because they love music that much, and there are some people that are not willing to sacrifice that. It honestly doesn't make one person better than the other. It's just what is best for your life. And it takes just as much courage in my group for someone to quit it as it does for someone to stay. It's very hard when you love each other. That being said, I just wanted to let everybody know that the girls and I love singing together. We love making music together, but unfortunately, this business just isn't for everybody.
The group never seemed to find their footing again after their debut, largely due to label troubles as well as some infighting. They did share some special moments post-breakup, but they remain a 2000s nostalgia act.